Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Atheist Sunday School.
Your one-stop shop
for everything Atheist Sunday and School. I think we've got that down.
Yeah.
I made that up.
Did you?
Yeah, I just said it once.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Can you move up the background picture?
What's wrong with it?
And there's a black bar at the top.
Yeah. That's my fault. Okay. So.
I transitioned it in. It looks so elegant when it's.
All right. So let's see. We already have a question in the comments.
We have a question. Leviticus talking about shiny clothing.
I think it was the latter half of Leviticus.
I think that it was specifically about the Aaronid priests.
Yeah,
right?
it was about the Aaronid priest, but I'm pretty sure that's the latter half. I'm pretty sure it was in our last episode of Leviticus. If not, maybe it was the second, but yeah, maybe it was the second. Shit, I don't fucking remember. The Lord accepts consecration of Aaron, grain offerings, priests and their offerings. It's somewhere in there.
See, mine doesn't have the subtitles on the chapters.
Yeah, yours doesn't.
Yeah. Those are useful.
I think it was in the latter half though, or in the latter third. I could be very wrong though.
Yeah, but I'm fairly certain that what they're talking about is the specific clothing
Of the Aaronid priesthood.
of the Aaronid
Yeah,
priesthood.
like the blue whatever
Yeah,
thing.
they had a uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, today we have a 100 points show, and then announcements.
Yes. All right. 100 points show. What was the name of the girl that wanted to fuck me last night?
You don't know.
What's your mom's name?
Well, it's not the same as my mom's name.
How am I supposed to know that?
I don't fucking know.
I think it was like Chelsea?
It was not Chelsea.
Okay, it wasn't Chelsea.
No.
So I didn't get 100 points.
No, you did not.
Next.
Okay, well, my question for you is, you might get this one. What is the 7th episode of the 2nd season of Supernatural called?
You don't even know this one.
Neither do I, but you should.
I don't fucking remember what it's called.
You're the biggest Supernatural fan
I'm
out
not the
there.
biggest Supernatural fan.
Just bigger than anyone here.
Yeah, I guess.
And today's episode of Atheist Sunday School is brought to you by
Our Teespring.
our Teespring.
It's brought to you by us.
Yes, it's brought to you by us.
Yep, our Teespring. We got a new shirt on there, but I do have to edit it.
Yes, the platonic form.
The platonic
shirt.
form of the T-shirt.
Yes.
Yep.
It's just a T-shirt,
Yeah.
but it's the T-shirt.
It is the T-shirt. It is
Yes.
the ideal T-shirt.
Yes.
So that's
Metaphysically.
yeah. So you can get it there. Also, we have updated our Patreon perks.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we went over this. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Last time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They have been updated. Oh shit. But I have already forgotten what they were.
Hooray!
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Well, for all of that exciting information, you can head over to the Milwaukee Atheist Patreon page, which is linked
In the description.
in the description and on our channel, and is mentioned in every video.
Yeah, it's
basically.
it's there. New perks.
New
So
perks.
we're I think for the $10 perk we have added a T-shirt giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
if you're a $10 donor, monthly donation, your name gets instantly entered into a raffle.
yep.
And once your name gets pulled, if your name gets pulled, we
Yeah.
will send you a Milwaukee Atheist T-shirt.
And if you're the only $10 patron,
And if
you
you're-
get T-shirts every month.
Yep. They may or may not
Be the
be
same.
the same
Yeah.
T-shirt. It depends on how many T-shirts we end up making.
Yeah. So that's that. And today we are doing chapters Twin Towers.
Wow. Chapters Twin Towers.
Yeah.
9/11.
9,
9 through
10,
11.
and 11.
Yep.
Well, what are we going to run into today, Lawrence, in these passages?
Today we're running back into the golden calf story.
Ah.
This was the quote-unquote original golden calf story.
And I wasn't here when you guys did the golden calf story.
That's true, you weren't.
Yeah.
Which is sad, because I actually really enjoyed that episode.
Oh, well, maybe we'll do the exact same thing.
We're not going
in
to do the
this-
exact same thing. It's very
Oh,
different.
It's a very different... Well, you'll have to point out the differences to me.
Not that it's... The writing of it is different, because
Oh.
the other one was a rewrite of this one.
Oh,
Yeah. But this did serve as the basis for the one in Exodus.
oh, well, that's fun.
Yeah, there's that.
And
Just
we
like a lot of
also
other
have
shit.
the Holy Scriptures.
Yeah, I don't know
here.
why there are these Bibles here. We have this one.
Props.
Props? They're props?
The props.
Okay.
Well,
here,
there are
I'll-
additional things that we can take reference from.
Yeah, we got a new King James, and then that stupid one that Chris was reading from. So,
I'm not even gonna read the name.
And did you bring...
No.
Who wrote these chapters?
this is, for the most part, D, because it's the Deuteronomist.
There are revisions in Deuteronomy.
Yes, there was a first edition and a second edition.
And these are probably the second edition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. At least in part, definitely.
So where do I get the first edition?
You know, you can't really find... I tried to find, like, the complete, like, separation of them, like, just to get the first and the second, but that doesn't exist
Yeah.
as, like, a thing to purchase.
Well, I guess I'm reading out of the King James Bible today.
Yep, and I am reading out of the English Standard Version.
Yeah. So if you need anything reiterated in English,
It'll be right here.
yeah, just ask us if you don't understand Victorian nonsense.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
because we get that it can be difficult.
It can be. Well, they use words differently. Like, we'll probably run into in Matthew up here. They use the word suffering very differently than we do in our modern context. I think it was after the genealogy when Jesus goes to John the Baptist, right? He says, da, 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 da.
What does it say after Jesus goes to John the Baptist?
Jesus says, "Suffer it to be so now, for thus it becometh us to fulfill all righteousness."
Yeah.
After John says,
Oh yeah, like suffer the little children.
yeah,
me, yeah.
yeah.
That kind of stuff.
So there are literal differences in the meanings of some words.
Yeah. But that happens with time.
Yep. Anyways, I'll begin reading chapter 9 of Deuteronomy, not Matthew.
One little thing, actually, before we hop into it. Yesterday was my birthday.
Your happy birthday, Lawrence.
Thanks, fuck you. So if you want to give me a birthday present,
You're already late.
well, you're late. And if you feel bad about being late, I was actually going to do a stream yesterday, but I ended up not doing that. So, if you want to make yourself feel better for not getting me anything, you should send a super chat. We always like those.
Well, I've got a wonderful present here for you right now.
What's that?
I'm going to read this chapter so
That
that
is-
you don't have to.
That is a wonderful thanks.
You're
Wonderful-
welcome.
Wonderful that we're doing things this way.
Yep. So, with Lawrence's birthday in mind, now, Lawrence, you weren't bar mitzvahed, were you?
No, I lost my religion before I was bar mitzvahed, and
Yeah.
I thought that being engulfed in like tradition was one of the dumbest fucking things.
All right.
So I was like, fuck you and your silly tradition.
Yeah. So you never had to read the Bible.
I never had to read it in Hebrew.
You should.
I am probably going to.
Yeah. So are you working on that religious studies degree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going in tomorrow to like get all the necessary steps to enroll again.
So remember that if you want to stalk Lawrence in a really creepy and bad way, he's going to be a religious studies major at UW Milwaukee.
Yeah. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh.
Yep. So you'll always know where to find him.
There.
Yep.
Yep.
Anyways, chapter 9. Hear, O Israel, thou art to pass over Jordan this day, to go in to possess nations greater and mightier than thyself, cities great and fenced up to heaven. A people great and tall, the children of the Anakim, whom thou knowest, and of whom thou hast heard say, who can stand before the children of Anak? So these are big guys.
Yeah. I'm guessing
For you.
giants.
Yeah. Understand, therefore, this day, that the Lord thy God is he which goeth over before thee. As a consuming fire he shall destroy them, and he shall bring them down before thy face. So shalt thou drive them out, and destroy them quickly, as the Lord hath said unto thee. So basically it's like, oh, we're going to war.
Yeah.
And you're going to have God's superpowers when you go to fight, so you never have to worry about
Good luck
anything.
fighting against God's superpowers, other guys.
Yeah, there's no way. You can't stand up against God's superpowers.
Nope, no way.
Well, I mean, like in the book of Maccabees, he literally sends an angel in with a flaming sword to lead their armies.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, Moses isn't getting the same treatment here. I think they would probably be a little more successful if they had an angel with
With a flaming sword. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like the one that was standing outside of Eden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speak not thou in thine heart, after that the Lord thy God hath cast them out from before thee, saying, for my righteousness the Lord hath brought me in to possess this land. But for the wickedness of these nations, the Lord doth drive them out from before thee. So Moses is making a clear ethical statement. It is not because you are any special, but because they suck so much. Which kind of goes against, the whole chosen people that was super nationalistic that we've run into many times.
Many times.
Yes. So maybe D wasn't as much of a hyper-nationalist.
A nationalist, yeah.
Maybe.
Not as much from what it looks like.
Yeah.
But they were all nationalists.
Oh, yeah, all
Yeah.
of them. I mean, they were tribal.
Go our nation.
Not for thy righteousness, or for the uprightness of thine heart, dost thou go to possess their land, but for the wickedness of these nations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee, and that he may perform the word which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Understand, therefore, that the Lord thy God giveth thee not this good land to possess it for thy righteousness, for thou art a stiff-necked people. That's a good one. Remember and forget not.
Remember and remember.
Yeah. Remember and don't forget. Okay, what? How thou provokedst.
What?
Provoked with an ST at the end.
I've never heard that before.
How do you
ever?
Provokedst.
Which verse? Oh, okay. Yeah, I just
7. You must have provoked.
I just have
probably.
provoked. That is much easier than provoked.
Provokest.
Provoked.
the Lord thy God to wrath in the wilderness. From the day that thou didst depart out of the land of Egypt until ye came unto this place, ye have been rebellious against the Lord. Also in Horeb ye provided the Lord to wrath, so that the Lord was angry with you to have destroyed you. When I was gone up into the mount to receive the tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant which the Lord made with you, then I abode in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. I neither did eat bread nor drink water. And the Lord delivered unto me 2 tables of stone, written with the finger of God. And on them was written according to all the words which the Lord spake with you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of assembly. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days and 40 nights that the Lord gave me the 2 tables of stone, even the tables of covenant. And the Lord said unto me, Arise, get thee down quickly from hence, for thy people which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They are quickly turned aside out of the way which I commanded them. They have made a molten image. Furthermore, the Lord spake unto me.
Well, I just want to point out here before we, because this is where the golden calf narrative starts up again. When here in, I think it was 10? Was it verse 10?
Before you do that, OT, you can definitely survive for 40 days without food.
Without water, I don't think so.
Not without water, but there have been people who have fasted for over 300 days and survived. So.
I don't know that.
It's happened. I can show you this.
Like monks, I'm guessing.
No, just people who are. What in the hell is going on over there?
Literally didn't do anything.
Okay, wow. Anyways.
No, there's people who are really fat. Apparently, fasting is better than dieting for weight loss and results in less strength loss.
It seems to work for me. Sometimes there are days I forget to eat.
Well, you come from a Russian family, so you just have the waiting in a breadline gene in your blood.
The waiting in a breadline gene. I think it was it 9 or 10? 10, yeah, verse 10. And the Lord gave me the 2 tablets of stone written with the finger of God. That part is super important. The finger of God part. Mm-hmm. The only other character in the Bible to write with their finger was Jesus. There's Jesus and God.
Right.
And the Jesus narrative, when it said that he wrote on the ground with his finger, was a direct reference to this. Was a direct reference to God writing the tablets with his finger.
I'll tell you something about.
It was meant to portray
Yeah.
he's not just a prophet. He's not just this guy who knows the law. He is the author of it.
Well, in Nordic traditions and Teutonic religion, they're shamans or whatever.
Yeah.
They would bite and bleed and then write their magic runes with their finger on surfaces, and it wasn't always done like that. They would sometimes carve them and then bloodlet onto the carved runes. But normally these magic runes would involve someone bleeding and then with their hand writing out the things that they wanted to happen for magic. And that might have been that early desert tribes had seen people practicing Indo-European religious traditions and saw that they're...
Maybe. I don't know when all that started. So, this we can reasonably date to a certain time. But I don't know, personally.
Right. Well, Indo-European religion is really hard to date in general, because we don't even know when they got there. Anyways, let's continue on. Furthermore, the Lord spake unto me, saying, I have seen this people, and behold!
Behold!
It is a stiff-necked people.
Get your behold t-shirts at Teespring.
Don't be stiff-necked.
Wow.
Let me alone, that I may destroy them, and blot out their name from under heaven. And I will make of thee a nation mightier and greater than they. Didn't he make like promises that he wouldn't destroy a whole bunch of people anymore at some
He wouldn't
point?
destroy the whole earth again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, God is really nuanced.
Yes.
It's like, I'll never do that again, but when I said that, I meant
Just
that.
Yeah. Just the flooding part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I turned and came down from the mount, and the mount burned with fire. And the 2 tables of the covenant were in my 2 hands. And I looked, and behold, ye had sinned against the Lord your God, and had made you a molten calf. Ye had turned aside quickly out of the way which the Lord had commanded you. And I took 2 tables and cast them out of my 2 hands and brake them before your eyes. And I fell down before the Lord, as at the first, 40 days and 40 nights. I did neither eat bread nor drink water, because of...
I like mine better. Then I lay prostrate before the Lord. I like that better.
Yes. Because of all your sins which ye sinned, in doing wickedly in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. So he's like, I fasted, and it's your fault.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. For I was afraid of the anger and hot displeasure, wherewith the wherewith the Lord.
That sounds sexy.
Oh yeah, hot displeasure.
Hot displeasure.
It's like a BDSM dungeon.
Oh yeah.
Wherewith the Lord was wroth against you to destroy you. But the Lord hearkened unto me at that time also. And the Lord was very angry with Aaron to have destroyed him. And I prayed for Aaron also the same time. Wow, this definitely wasn't written by P.
No, it was not.
Yeah. He would never say the Lord was angry at Aaron. And I took your sin, the calf which ye had made, and burnt it with fire, and stamped it, and ground it very small, even until it was as small as dust. And I cast the dust thereof into the brook that descended out of the mount. And at Taberah and Massa and at Kibroth Hattava ye provoked the Lord's wrath. Likewise, when the Lord sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, Go up and possess the land which I have given you, then ye rebelled against the commandment of the Lord your God, and ye believed him not, nor hearkened to his voice. So basically, this whole chapter, it just starts off with like, now, when you're going to attack these people and take their land, remember it's because they're bad people, not because you're good people. And the rest of the chapter is just simply like, this is why you're not good people.
I think that there is some good parallelism going on here. Like, their nation is going to be destroyed because they were bad, so don't be as bad as them, like, lest your nation be destroyed.
Right. Ye have been rebellious against the Lord from the day that I knew you. Thus I fell down before the Lord 40 days and 40 nights, as I fell down at the first, because the Lord said that he would destroy you. I prayed, therefore, unto the Lord, and said, O Lord God, destroy not thy people and thine inheritance, which thou hast redeemed through thy greatness, which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Remember thy servants Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Look not unto the stubbornness of this people, nor to their wickedness, nor to their sin, lest the land whence thou broughtest us out say, because the Lord was not able to bring them out to the land which he promised them, and because he hated them, he hath brought them out to slay them in the wilderness. Yet they are thy people, and thine inheritance, which thou broughtest out by thy mighty power, and by thy stretched out arm.
So here's God, once again, getting his mind changed. I know.
Is that her?
Yeah, that's her.
Wow.
Yeah.
I win the 100 points question.
No, you don't.
Well, now I do.
A little notification popped up. Message from someone anyways.
Yes.
All right. But I think, it's always interesting when. What?
It's at 100 points, Joe.
Oh, okay.
You give me those damn 100 points.
You're not getting shit.
The 100 points show text was on the screen.
You're not getting shit. I am making a judgment call here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Lawrence? The Nazis lost the war.
Did you finish that chapter?
They live on.
Apparently.
Yeah, we did finish chapter 9. We're on to chapter 10 now.
Okay.
At that time the Lord said to me, cut for yourself 2 tablets of stone like the first, and come up to me on the mountain and make an ark of wood. And I will write on the tablets the words that were on the first tablets, so that you broke. What?
I lost the first ones.
The,
So I gotta go get some more. I
he,
dropped them.
he broke them
No,
on
I dropped-
purpose.
He just said he dropped them. He said it was intentional, but he just broke them by accident. They're heavy.
That you broke, and you shall put them in the ark. So I made an ark of acacia wood,
Shittim wood.
shittim wood, and cut 2 tablets of stone like the first, and went up the mountain with the 2 tablets in my hand. And he wrote on the tablets in the same writing as before, the 10 commandments the Lord had spoken to you on the mountain out of the midst of the fire on the day of the assembly. And the Lord gave them to me.
Wow. Moses failed to turn in his writing project on time, and he managed to get an extension.
Good for him.
Good for him.
This is so bureaucratic.
Yeah. This entire fucking thing is bureaucratic. You were here for Leviticus.
Yes.
Then I turned and came down from the mountain and put the tablets in the ark that I made. And there they are, as the Lord commanded me. So is this supposed to be the same ark as the one in the... This is supposed to be the same ark as the one in the tabernacle, right?
Yes, this is the Ark of the Covenant.
Right. I don't remember that happening in the same sequence in Exodus. I remember that was a separate thing.
To be clear, the sequence here...
This is all in like one go. He's going to get the second set of tablets, and in the same sequence, he is also making an ark for them. But I don't think it was that way. I think they were like separate events in Exodus, right? Or am I mistaken?
Well, I don't know. I think they were separate events.
I think they were separate events. Do you guys remember? Does the audience remember? Because I don't fucking remember.
Well, I just happened to turn to this page, and chapter 37 of Exodus, and Bezalel made the ark of shittim wood.
Ooh.
Chapter 37 of Exodus, Bezalel makes the ark out of shittim wood.
Ooh.
Chapter 10 of
Contradiction!
Deuteronomy. Yep. There's a contradiction in the Bible. Who made the Ark of the Covenant?
That's a good one. We should write that down.
Yeah. We should. We have tons of ideas that we should write down.
That's a good
from the
point.
Show.
I have a lot of ideas written down. I just have trouble getting to them. Write it down, Chris.
I don't know.
Who made the ark?
All right, I'll get on it right now.
Okay.
Thanks.
Now, where was I? The people of Israel journeyed from Beeroth, Bene-Yakan, which, or the wells of Bene-Yakan, to Moserah. There Aaron died, and there he was buried, and his son Eleazar ministered as priest in his place. From there they journeyed to Gudgodah, and from Gudgodah to Jotbatha, a land with brooks of water. At that time,
Mine says rivers.
contradiction. No,
Contradiction.
not really. At that time, the Lord set apart the tribe of Levi to carry the ark of the covenant of the Lord, to stand before the Lord, to minister to him, and to bless in his name to this day. See, this is one of the reasons that we know it wasn't Moses who wrote the Torah. It's because it just says to this day quite often. And to this day signifies that a lot of time has passed. And if Moses wrote this, presumably in his own lifetime, he wouldn't say to this day, because not that much time has passed. Like, these traditions haven't been around that long.
Well, I don't think that's really fair. What Moses is doing is he's giving a speech to people before they go to war. So when he says to this day, there is a day that he's referring to, the day that they're about to go off to war, on which he is,
No, but to this
giving his
day,
speech.
if you're talking about something, like
There are people who
some-
say that for things that happened within the last 5 years. It's just a phrase.
comes up a lot with
He
like
was in the desert for 40 years. His brain is fried. He probably thinks he's been there a lot longer.
that would be sad.
Well, what do you expect? They're all malnourished.
Well, good thing that this guy didn't exist at all.
Yeah.
Therefore, Levi has no portion or inheritance with his brothers. The Lord is his inheritance, as the Lord your God said to him. I myself stayed on the mountain as at the first time, 40 days and 40 nights, and the Lord listened to me that time also. The Lord was unwilling to destroy you, and the Lord said to me, Arise, go on your journey at the head of the people, so that they may go in and possess the land, which I swore to their fathers to give them. Now, this is just Moses referencing all the times that he talked God out of doing something.
Mm.
Like a good lawyer.
Like a good lawyer. Well, I mean, that's what they've been doing.
Yeah.
Like the prophet Abraham did it,
Yeah.
and Moses is doing it. Maybe it's a way to show that Moses is one-upping Abraham, right? But
Well, the whole-
Deuteronomy was written before Genesis, right?
Yeah. There was probably an existing, like, Abraham tradition. Like, they probably had these national heroes.
Mm-hmm.
But there's really no evidence for their actual existence because the stories come way later.
Right, but I mean, here he's referring to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yeah.
So obviously they're already characters within his conception of reality.
Yeah. But there were no stories written down about them as of yet. And now, Israel, what does the Lord your God require of you but to fear the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, to love him, to fear and to love him? That's something I never understood.
Well, it's like you're in an abusive relationship. You fear and love them.
Perfectly logical, that one.
Yes.
All those great abusive relationships. To serve the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, and to keep the commandments and statutes of the Lord, which I am commanding you today for your good. Behold, to the Lord your God belong... Wait, what? To the Lord your God belong heaven and the heaven of heavens.
Mine says, Behold the heaven, and the heaven of heavens is the Lord's, thy God, the earth also.
The heaven and the
Also
heaven
earth.
of heavens.
Okay,
Interesting.
so if they say the heaven of heavens, they haven't really referred to that before.
No, they have not.
But maybe what they're saying is like outer space.
They're
is
probably referring
still in
the heavens.
the firmament, and beyond the firmament is the heaven of heavens,
That's the quote unquote real heaven.
the real heaven.
The no true heaven fallacy. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
No, it's the no true Scots. Shut up, Chris.
I figured it wasn't.
It
Sounded like no true Scotsman.
heaven of heavens, the earth with all that is in it. Yet the Lord set his heart in love on your fathers, and chose their offspring after them, you above all peoples, as you are this day. Circumcise, therefore, the foreskin of your heart. What?
And be no more stiff-necked.
And be no more. Oh, I have no. Yeah, be no longer stubborn. The foreskin of your heart. Did you have that ceremony? I didn't.
Ooh, well, I'm not supposed to talk about
The
it.
foreskin of your heart.
Yeah. No, there is no foreskin of the heart.
No, that would
I guess you could,
result in murder. At the
trim
time.
down the artery walls.
Why?
Well, why not?
You kill them.
Well, that's what Moses is condoning.
Yeah.
Don't kill them.
Foreskin of the heart, everybody. Thanks, Bible. For the Lord your God is God of gods and Lord of lords, the great, the mighty, and the awesome God who is not partial and takes no bribe. So it says the God of gods and the
You took
Lord.
a bribe earlier.
Did he take a bribe earlier?
Hell yeah.
What was the bribe he took earlier?
They burnt more offerings.
That's not really a bribe.
Well, the guy forgot about him until they burnt offerings.
Well, he didn't
that's not-
comply with their bribe.
Okay, you have to do these ceremonies and get a savory favor for God. You have to bribe God every time you do a sin.
That's not really a bribe.
That's totally a bribe. You're
like
paying him off with a
it's a-
savory smell.
I don't know. I think there's something different
It's
about it.
pleasing to the Lord.
Well, for example, they sacrificed all those animals
Yeah.
earlier on.
Right.
And
Would you call that a bribe or a ritual?
well, it was an attempt to bribe. No, I just think that the killing the animals is like the method that they use to contact them.
Oh.
I don't think, because Moses is like a prophet, so he gets chosen to be contacted. But other people who just like want to call up God can't pick up the telephone. They've got to go
can't.
through this ridiculous process and burn an animal, and then maybe he'll show up.
Hold on, I'll try the telephone.
Continue.
But I want to point out that when it says, God of gods and Lord of lords, at this time, they were worshiping lots of gods. But since they were getting utterly destroyed, they decided we should worship this one God, and it became the Yahweh alone movement.
Mm-hmm.
So even in the context of this theology, there isn't just one God. There are lots of gods, but only one should be worshipped.
And D isn't he Yahwist? Is he?
No. Maybe later he was. He became like a Yahweh alone guy. But before that, I don't... Well, because we don't actually know anything about him, really.
Right.
We can just tell from his writings. But from that, it doesn't seem like he at first only worshipped Yahweh,
Right.
and then later he did only worship Yahweh. Yeah.
Redactors.
He executes justice for the fatherless and the widow. Justice for the fatherless and the widow. Just those guys. And loves the sojourner, giving him food and clothing. Love the sojourner, therefore, for you were sojourners in the land of Egypt. This is something we should...
They say it many times.
They do. They say it many times, but this is definitely the kind of stuff we should be showing to all those Christian conservatives that are all like, get out of our country.
We need to build a wall!
Those guys.
Yeah. They're
You
not
should-
very Christian.
No, not, obviously not. You shall fear the Lord your God. You shall serve him and hold fast to him, and by his name you shall swear. He is your praise. He is your God, who has done for you these great and terrifying things that your eyes have seen. Your fathers went down to Egypt 70 persons, and now the Lord your God has made you as numerous as the stars of heaven. So this is the first time that we're hearing of a number attributed to how many people went.
No, they said this already.
Did they say 70 before?
No, not 70. They said numerous.
No, that one,
Yeah.
sure. But it says, your fathers went down to Egypt, 70 persons. I don't remember that part.
I remember that they said
Didn't
that
Isaac
they
go
were
with
all going there. Let me see.
That might take a while. But now God has made you as numerous as the stars of heaven. Yada, yada, yada. All that good stuff about being fruitful and shit.
Is this the end of the chapter?
That is the end of the chapter.
Sweet-o.
Yeah.
Mm.
But it's going to take a while for you to find.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, don't
that
even
right
bother.
Anyways, chapter 11. Therefore, thou shalt love the Lord thy God, and keep his charge, and his statutes, and his judgments, and his commandments, always. And know ye this day, for I speak not with your children which have not known, and which have not seen the chastisement of the Lord your God, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arm, and his miracles, and his acts, which he did in the midst of Egypt unto Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and unto all his land, and what he did to the army of Egypt, unto their horses, and to their chariots, how he made the water of the Red Sea to overflow them as they pursued after you, and how the Lord hath destroyed them unto this day.
So it seems that these myths obviously have been building up over time, but they were really just basic outlines. They became much more in-depth later.
Yeah.
But you know what I have been forgetting to say this entire time?
What?
Drop a like if you guys haven't.
Yeah, and if you're enjoying the stream, you should share it with your friends, family, neighbors, ex-wives, ex-girlfriends, estranged children, random people that you meet on the street.
Yeah, but definitely if you guys are enjoying the stream, drop a like, really helps us. Donate for my birthday. Helps me out with school and shit.
It helps Lawrence out with something.
School.
I guess.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, hopefully.
Or the studio or the website.
Studio, website, all that good stuff.
Okay, ready?
Continue. Yes, definitely. I'm gonna go get a drink.
Okay. Well, it's significant here that he says specifically that he's only talking to people who have actually seen God and what God does.
Look at your cam.
Which camera? This
Yours.
one? Yeah. Why should I look at it?
Because you're talking to it. You're the only one on the stream.
No, I'm also reading.
Well, go ahead and read.
Well, I can't read if you keep on interrupting me and telling me to look at the camera. I have to look at the words.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If we had a teleprompter,
That would be sweet.
that would be sweet. If you want us at Milwaukee Atheists to get a teleprompter,
You want a teleprompter?
donate enough money to get a teleprompter,
Yeah.
I guess.
It's like $1,000.
Is it really $1,000?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
reverse mirror tech isn't that cheap for some reason.
Yeah, it's pretty
The cameras
expensive.
for it, we just don't have the budget for that anymore.
Anyway,
We never planned on it.
yeah. Well, I've been telling these guys to get teleprompters for quite a while now.
Wanted one for a while now.
You get one.
I don't have $1,000. Anyways, and what he did to you in the wilderness until you came into this place, and what he did unto Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, the son of Reuben, how the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up and their households and their tents and all the substance that was in their possession in the midst of all Israel. But the Lord, but your eyes have seen all the great acts of the Lord which he did. Therefore shall ye keep all his commandments which I command you on this day, that ye may be strong and go in and possess the land, whither ye go to possess it, and that ye may prolong your days in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give unto them and to their seed, a land that floweth with milk and honey. For the land, whither thou goes in to possess it, is not as the land of Egypt, from whence ye came out, where thou sowedst thy seed and watered it with thy foot as a garden of herbs. But the land whither ye go to possess it is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of the rain of heaven. A land which the Lord thy God careth
Now
for.
this is the reign of heaven, not the reign of the heaven of heavens.
No, this is not the heaven of heaven's reign.
No, this is the heaven's reign. The
That's
heaven
just
of heaven's
way better.
reign is far superior.
Guys, what?
Cameron Henderson, yes, we need a new private jet. Once we have 5 or 6 of them, that should be enough. The Lord will be happy.
To do our atheist dictator will.
Yeah. Sell buckets as flotation devices.
I don't know if that's sell.
I bet it'd sell. This is America.
This is America.
This is Donald Glover. Where was I? The rain of heaven, not the heaven of heavens. A land which the Lord thy God careth for. The eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginnings of the year even unto the end of the year. Wow. So even back then, they're like, God bless America, right?
They were super nationalist.
Yeah.
And like here's the weird thing I don't get about like any nationalist.
Right.
Like white, black, whatever, Jewish, doesn't fucking matter. Like sure there was this land that you were in, but before you were in that land, somebody else was in that land.
Oh, but they were bad.
It's just the dumbest shit.
Yeah, they were bad. We had to kill them all. God said so. It's magic. I don't gotta explain shit. Yeah. Damn. And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, that I will give you the rain in the land in his due season, the first rain, and the latter rain, that thou mayst gather in thy corn, and thy wine, and thy oil. And I will send grass in thy fields for thy cattle, that thou mayest eat and be full. Take heed to yourselves, that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. And then the Lord's wrath be kindled against you, and he shut up the heaven, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, and lest ye perish quickly from off the good land which the Lord give you. So, literally, sun god.
So what's really interesting is that the mention of fruit here. That was one of their main things. Like they had plenty of fields for what was it? Olives and grapes, like vineyards and stuff.
Mic check.
Mike?
What's wrong with Mike?
Is there something wrong with the mic?
No.
My mic is good. Someone in the audience said mic check.
Oh, BS. I can see it.
My mic is okay.
Everything is fine.
If there's a mic problem, it is likely something on your end.
Who said it? Who said that?
OT.
Said that.
I don't know who OT is.
Okay.
OT's been coming here for a while.
He has been coming here for a while. So if you guys can hear us, definitely tell us if you can.
Yeah.
If there's something wrong with the mics, tell us.
Yeah. If you can't hear us, well, then I don't know how you're going to know to tell us.
Yeah. You might notice that there's no audio.
Yeah.
That's something. But I think we're good. Everything's showing up fine.
Oh, I think we're good. Let's continue then. Therefore shall ye lay up these words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. And ye shall teach them to your children, speaking of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thine house. It sounds like stuff we've already talked about before.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, it does.
Something about doorposts.
It was the last episode, right? We talked.
Yeah, we literally covered the same thing last episode. But
That's a
wow.
lot.
Doorposts of your house and upon thy gates, that your days may be multiplied, and as the days of your children in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth. Literally, you're going to live forever. For if ye shall diligently keep all these commandments, which I command you, to do them...
But obviously, they didn't stay there forever.
Right. To love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, walk this way, talk this way, and to cleave unto him,
You know, I had to show that song to somebody yesterday because they never heard it before.
Yeah.
Who had... Was it your
Yeah.
special lady?
Yeah.
Fish, she's probably still watching.
She wasn't watching.
Says you.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. Has she ever heard of Tool?
I don't know. I don't even listen to Tool, so.
Wow, that's...
No, the expression.
No, the band.
No, I don't even listen to Tool, so
Oh,
I had no desire to show her Tool.
Hey, if you guys want to see Lawrence listen to every single Tool song in a live stream, we can't play the Tool songs.
No, we can't. It would just
we
be
could
me
just
like,
be
"Ooh,
Lawrence
listening to
wearing headphones in front of a camera. But if you want to see that, donate exactly $6.66 to our stream. And if that happens, I mean,
guess we
I'm
do
not
it.
gonna do that.
Yeah, we are.
Lawrence won't do it.
Yeah, we'll make Lawrence do it for $6.66.
Oh, go fuck yourselves. Let's finish this chapter.
Yes. Diligently cleave unto him. Then the Lord will drive out all the nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations, and mightier than yourselves.
How did you?
Yeah. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours.
Ooh.
From the wilderness and Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, even unto the uttermost sea shall your coast be.
But that's obviously not true. Like, that's not.
Christian territory.
No, it's not. Israel's territory.
All right. Well, also,
Let's just say they.
within biblical law, should Jews be allowed to own property in the North and South American continents? Or the Australian continent?
I don't know. It doesn't say that.
Why not?
It doesn't say
Because-
that you can't own other stuff.
Well,
it
it
says,
says-
that you're gonna own this.
The place that you go will be yours in this set area, even to the sea. But what's beyond the sea?
Oh yeah, because they
Yeah.
wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, they also
Yeah.
would not have claim to anything which is there by natural right, because that's
They
actually
didn't set foot on it. So.
actually in our government, we are granted rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Right. As endowed to us by our Creator. But that comes from John Locke, and John Locke said the same thing, except not the pursuit of happiness. He said property rights. But according to the Bible, you don't have property rights to anything that's in the United States or South America.
Because they didn't set foot there.
Right.
But now
Adam,
now
Adam
Jews are here.
was owner. Well, Adam was free to use whatever.
Yeah.
Because he was the inheritor of the earth, basically.
Right.
Um,
And their area got smaller and smaller. But then they were like, okay, as long as you walk in the wilderness for 40 years, you can earn a little bit of land back, even though you had nothing to do with the fall.
yeah.
It's your fault.
South America's beyond the firmament.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's got to be a fact.
We've got someone in here called Antisocial Socialist.
Yeah, I've read their comments before.
Oh.
They've popped up.
Yeah. I just find it strange because, all socialists are antisocial.
Okay.
Hilarious.
They like bread lines.
I mean, who doesn't like a good bread line? That's one hell of a line.
Yeah, bread lines. Let's go, bread lines. Okay.
If they had those, would we go?
No, we wouldn't go to the... You can go to a soup kitchen anytime you want, Chris.
I'm cool.
There shall be no man able to stand before you. For the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land which ye shall tread upon, as he hath said unto you. Well, I mean, I guess that explains all of the anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bad deal. Behold,
Behold! Mine says C.
yours sucks. I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. Now, we're getting magic spells here. No, this is legitimately magic spells. A blessing, if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day. And a curse, if ye will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods, which ye have not known. And it shall come to pass, when the Lord thy God hath brought thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, that thou shalt put a blessing upon the Mount Gerizim, and the curse upon Mount Ebal. So, if you...
Wait, what? What's the curse then? Hold on. The curse, hold on.
The,
and the
curse is that if you don't follow the
commandments, but turn aside from
that-
the ones that I'm commanding you today to go after other gods that you have not known. That's the end of the sentence. And when the Lord your God brings you into the land that you are entering to take possession of it, you shall set the blessing. Okay, keep going.
Okay. Are they not on the other side Jordan? By the way, where the sun goeth down in the land of the Canaanites, which dwell in the
What? In the what?
Champagne?
Champagne. I have who live in the Araba.
Over against Gilgal,
Okay.
beside the plains of Morah.
Sure, I'm in agreement, but it's a question, I guess.
Yes. For ye shall pass over Jordan to go in to possess the land which the Lord your God giveth you, and ye shall possess it and dwell therein, and ye shall observe to do all the statutes and judgments which I set before you this day.
So what is the curse?
I don't know. It's on the mountain.
The curse is on the mountain.
What is...
Mount Gerizim is where the Israeli Samaritan temple was, and where the ruins where the Samaritans still hold the sacrifices.
Still?
Still?
As in to this day?
Are there still Samaritans sacrifices?
Because time has passed?
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, look,
But
Lawrence.
I'm still trying to trying to figure out what the curse was.
But-
It's on the mountain.
Now,
That doesn't...
Lawrence. All right. So, like, if I say, in high school, Chris started talking a lot about nihilism, and even to this day, he still talks a lot about nihilism. You wouldn't say that I misused the phrase, even though it wasn't from 100 years ago.
Sure, I guess.
Yeah. To this day.
Yeah, I do.
Yes, a few left to this day. So there are Samaritans holding sacrifices in the ruins of the Israeli Samaritan temple.
It's important, for them, I think.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously sacrifices were important. They wrote a whole book about it.
Yeah, Leviticus is
Leviticus,
just
a whole
sacrifices.
book about sacrifices.
Now,
There's other stuff in there too, sure, but let's be honest, it's a book about sacrifices.
Now, we're through with 11 chapters in Deuteronomy.
Yes.
And Deuteronomy has 34 chapters.
Yes.
So we're about almost
About a third of the way through.
third of the
Yeah.
way through. It's impossible to actually be a third of the way through. It is 34 chapters.
Yeah, I understand how that works. Well, we could be exactly a third of the way through, but we'd have to end in the middle of a chapter.
All right, hold on.
What are you doing?
Stop it.
These are the statutes. Oh,
There we go. We're done.
yep, we're done. We
Yep.
finished.
Totally done.
Yep.
That was exactly a third.
We're exactly a third of the way through. I'm going to start next time after those words, too.
So I usually would have added another chapter onto this, but the reason that I decided to just do 3 chapters today was because next week we'll be getting into the Deuteronomistic Law Code.
Mm-hmm.
Chapters 12 to 25 or 26 were the first ones written. That was the original law code.
Are we doing all those at once?
No, we're not doing all those at once.
Okay.
because it's a lot.
We'll split that into 2 episodes.
We'll split that into, well, I'm not sure how many. I'll look over them.
12 to 20.
It looks like those chapters are fairly short for the most part.
Well, if they're short
so
enough.
we'll split them. But basically, these were the law codes that were given to King Josiah. And Josiah made these big religious reforms, like the next one, the Lord's chosen place of worship. That's what the next chapter is about. That's when it actually centralized the religion, because they had high places that we discussed earlier, that they were just places of worship, and they were everywhere. But with the reign of Josiah, there was this law code that was presented to him. Whether or not it was written before his reign or not is unknown. But the first thing was centralizing the religion, and that's his first big religious reform, was centralizing it. So that's how because it says later in, I think it was 2 Kings, that there was a law code given to him, and from like the moment scholars read that, they could tell that it was Deuteronomy. They could tell that the thing handed to him was Deuteronomy, because the first law code was centralize the religion, and the first thing he did was centralize the religion. Big thing. So that's why I decided to break it off there. But what?
Nothing.
What is so funny?
Nothing.
What'd you do? Did you flip me over or something?
I did some bullshit, yeah.
So, I think next week we should cover 4 chapters.
Okay.
Because it looks like
And you have to read 2, Lawrence.
14 is pretty short,
Okay.
but 12 is pretty long.
12,
So, like, we'll be reading about the same amount if we read 4 chapters next time.
Yeah. All right. But that is the show for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
If you enjoyed it, give us a like. It really helps us out. Check us out on Patreon and at MilwaukeeAtheist.com. And we also have other shows.
We also have other videos.
Yeah, like, go check out our other videos.
Yeah, usually people watch those anyways.
Alright.
Also, we want to make that sitcom about God.
Yeah, we want to make a God sitcom.
And we also, if you're on Facebook and Twitter, consider following us on those. That's free.
Yeah, we're definitely there.
Yeah, you can keep up to date with what we're doing there.
And if you're on, I don't know, what's something that I could say that would be offensive towards Lawrence? If you're on Grindr,
swipe right.
Look them up.
You can't look people up on Grindr.
Can you?
No.
It's the same as Tinder, except just for gay dudes.
Yeah.
So
Chris, why do you know so much about it?
I know nothing
he was
about
exploring. It's okay.
I know nothing.
We accept everybody here. We're very
Biased.
inclusive.
Alright.
All right.
Exclusively inclusive.
Yeah, if you're not inclusive, get out. Alright.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for today.
Well, we
Thanks for
didn't
joining
really
us.
cover the golden calf story in depth.
Well, it wasn't supposed to be in depth. That was the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, that could have just been, you know,
Quote.
the last half of Exodus right there.
Yeah, but this was the basis for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I think we've done all our shilling. We have T-shirts. Did you ever figure out how to get the T-shirts to show up underneath the videos?
No.
I saw that on like 1 or 2 channels.
Talk about that later.
Tattoos and the gays are in trouble.
Thank you, 1P6T1GMS.
I guess I'm in trouble. I got a tattoo.
He's got the mark of Cain.
I do have the mark of Cain.
And hey, if you missed most of the show, you can always go back and watch
it. Yeah.
any of
It usually processes like within the hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we've said like goodbye 3 times already. So thank you guys so much for joining us.
Did you just make a Nazi salute?
No, it wasn't.